I built I've built a system. Ta-da! A health document. Right. Why, you ask? Why do you bother with that? Because I don't know about you, but when you go to doctor's appointments and that, and they go, "Hello, Mrs. Kerry Ann, and how are you today? How can we help you? What is going on?" And you go, and it's the same with form fillings as well, isn't it? I don't know, but I got there you go. So I've got to like start putting yes, there's swearing, sorry. Like forms. So I've got to fill loads of forms out and that. And it's like you haven't got it. It's like, I don't know you, I'm scatty anyway. So I'm like looking at in one, in your big massive folder, you're like pulling out letters and all this lot to try and find your evidence in that. Well, my folder is me evidence. So it took a while to build up. It did take a while, so bear with. But what I've done, I've put health notes, general information. So I've put my national insurance number, my telephone number, my home address. I put my family connections that I've got, my doctor, yeah, so I've chucked that down. Medications that I'm on, yeah, and then I've done pain management. Okay, so what I do with pain management, medications, or like things that I use, so i.e. I have Epsom salt baths, I use heat pads, so general things like that. Medical history and ongoing illness, when it started, and what conditions I've got. So I've chucked that in there. And I also put new symptoms from 2025 to the present. So I've chucked in the general new symptoms. This can be updated. So I put it on a Word document. And so if I need to freshen it up, I can freshen it up. Or if I need to add more. I've also put the cycles, right? So living on boom and bust. The toll, the management and stuff. Then I've chucked down symptoms and impact. Now, so the symptoms and impact. Now, my advice to you, right, if you are doing this, and this is what worked for me, you might have a better mindset, a better brain of storing information. When I wrote down how I was feeling on those days, right? So basically, fatigue and stuff. I started writing down my my symptoms and stuff, right? On a notebook, yeah, just a notebook, right? First, right? Because then what you're doing, then you're building up this, building up your thing. So you haven't got to really, because it's really hard when you're not feeling, I don't know about you, maybe it's just me, but with me, if I'm trying to explain something and I'm not feeling it that day, it's really hard for me to explain and I miss out stuff. So this is what I did. I wrote down my symptoms on the day I was storing it. Just notes, right, of how I was feeling. And I done that with fatigue, brain fog and sensory things, chronic pain and my fatigue, fibromyalgia, and then any other pains I was suffering. And I also put what I could do that day as well. So the daily impact. So what I had was high impact, mid impact, and low impact, what was manageable. So I'll tell you what I think. So high impact, I couldn't do, when I was really on a bad day, there was no way I could do walking or shopping. That was just impossible. There was no way I could do gardening and mopping, right? Changing beds or hoovering, I couldn't do that, right? Cleaning the bathroom or lifting and bending, I just couldn't. The bending part is, even on the best days, is still a struggle, let alone doing it. I'm crashed, I'm in bed. Do not talk to me, I am not here. that's my bad days. Mid impact requires pacing, so I can do like short walks. So it could be just walking around the shops. It's still a short walk, isn't it? Right? It still counts. Coffee with friends, but I can only maintain 2 hours. So what many hours can you do, right? I'm not trying to tell you what to do, right? But I'm just think this is good to have, especially if you suffer from brain fog and things like that. If you've got it in the bag, this is probably not the video for you, right? But if you're like, how am I going to fill all these forms in and not know? Visiting family, again, 1 or 2 hours I can manage on that, or they come to see me, so I can do washing up. Toning tables, I haven't done toning tables for such a long time, but I used to do toning tables, but I just couldn't keep up with it with other commitments and that. Low impact, manageable, I potter around the home, so I don't go out. I'm in my PJs, like today. I'm in my PJs, so I just potter. So whether it's like polishing and dusting, folding, washing. Sometimes I do a 5-10 minute bed yoga, but I haven't done that for a long time. Just to say, it's one of those you think, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Organising a drawer, that's another thing. I don't try to, when you, I don't know, in the past, with me, in the past, when I was all healthy and everything was rosy, when I was decluttering, I would declutter the whole room, not just, but now I got to pace it and just do bits at a time. So I just focus on one specific area, whether that's the bottom drawer, the wardrobe, so I'll just do one section of that wardrobe. And if I continue, or I feel okay and I think, oh no, I'm all right, I'll carry on. But the goal is just, having those small little goals has helped. And rambling. So another thing I've done, aids and support and tools, right? I've wrote that down, right? So mobility and bathroom, pain and comfort, technique and sensory. So, even because I don't, this sounds weird, I wear sunglasses in the house sometimes because the sensory of like bright light can really affect my eyes. So just having sunglasses on just helps, or dimmer light. But yeah, I know it's weird, but hey ho, it is. Health apps. So I was using Finch, but I just found it too much. It was just, I just couldn't commit to it, so I stopped using it. But I do use with Visibility. Visibility, it monitors your symptoms, and you can add and up symptoms if you want to. You can get a watch and that, but it's expensive. So I don't do that. But I do the Finch, and what it does, let me show you. So it reads your so I'm at a level 2, so I know I got to take it really, really easy today, right? And then it's got evening check-in, and you can put your own symptoms in, right? So I'm gonna have to change some of those symptoms, so I got to go through that, and that helps. I know I'm rambling, but I'm just trying to sort of like show you what I do. So yeah, and then I mark it down, and it's so simple. So it's like none, mild, moderate, or severe. I do have to change my symptoms because my symptoms, they change, don't they? So yeah, so I've got aids and things. Why do I do that? Why have I done this? Because filling forms in is a freaking nightmare, and going to appointments and that. So I've got an appointment with the doctor. I've got to wait. Well, I'm waiting. I'm on the list to see the is it Emmy? I don't know. Is it Emmy? I don't know. Emmy. People. I think it's Emmy. I don't know. It's the fatigue FCS or whatever they call it. I don't know. So then I've got like a daily, I don't do this, but then I've got a daily symptom and housing login date. So I suppose if you've got like a appointment coming up, you could do that week thing if you wanted to do. Like I suffer from fuzzy head, unable to speak and forgetful. Do that a lot. It's a lot of this. And then what I've done, again, I'm not going to, because it's obviously private, but it just gives you an idea. Oh, I've got like a handyman information to help with thing. But then what I've done is put all my letters of proof, right? The up to date stuff here. So I've got it all underneath, and I've got my recent doctor's notes, referrals, anything that's referral, any letters, like because I did the backpack thing. What is the backpack? Basically, it's like a 6 to 8 weeks course from the doctors to help you manage your pain management and stuff. So that's what it is. So I've got the record, I've got all the letters from that and stuff. So I can, and then obviously I've got my birth certificate in that I did. Right. I think if you can get, don't know, it took me a long time. It took me a good while to get this up together. And I did use AI for a lot of things. So I basically wrote down all the symptoms and that I was suffering. And then he helped me tidy it up, basically, all my spelling and stuff. Obviously, don't put your personal details in when you're doing that, just to put your basic things, but he tidied it up. So I said that I want this to take to the doctors, or I want this to fill a form out and stuff. Can you help? But yeah, I think I haven't yet used it because I've got I want to see if I can claim PIP and a blue badge. And that was another thing I was struggling, because you know yourself, if you suffer from this, that some days you can walk, you can do a lot more than other days. And then a friend of mine said, but Kerr, if you've got a blue badge, that's going to stop the boom, so it's going to moderate ththings for you. It's going to lessen the pressure of the walking and stuff like that. So, because I don't know about you. I've this is messed up, right? This is really screwed up. This is how it is, right? I'm a support worker supporting an elderly lady. So I support her, take her out doing shopping and stuff, right? The day after my job, right? The day after I worked, I needed to go shopping, but physically I was unable, right? I wanted to go shopping, but I wanted to do it myself. So my girls came with me. This is how messed up. My girls, and I used the scooter to get round the shop because I was struggling with pain. It's messed up, isn't it? But I was fine because I took the lady. And that's how it is. That's how this comes about. So I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. So it was ironic that I was using that. So sometimes I will use scooters in if I do feel like I want to get out of the four walls, or I feel like I can, function. Sometimes I can't. I feel I struggle to drive because obviously it's too much. So my girls pick me up and take me out, or take shopping, or sometimes I can't do shopping at all. So I do, not very often, but on my worst times I will do online shopping. My son would go out and do, grab a few bits if we need it, and so will my daughters. So there's like several options that I will do when doing this. But I think sometimes it's really hard to explain to the doctors what's going on in a month's basis, and it's really hard to get appointments nowadays as well. So it can be a long period of time, isn't it, from those moments. So having something to take with you and say, right, this is what's happening, this is what my major symptoms are, this is what is it, I think it just helps. And also when you're filling in forms, I mean, I don't know how it's going to go because obviously I haven't done the form fillings as of yet, but me personally, I think if it doesn't matter what your condition is, I think whether that's mental health or whatever, if you've got something there, it's easier to explain than when they ask you and you go and then you go back out kicking yourself because you forgot to mention another symptom. You forgot to say that this was that, or you just go into, well, you don't explain it properly, and then they're like blah 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 blah, and you're back to square one again and feeling like unheard, feeling like shit. No one's listening to you and no one's getting you. Do you know what I mean? So this is what I've been doing. I'm not saying you should do it, but I thought I'll share it anyway. Health notes folder with everything that you need for appointments and stuff. You can take it with you, and what they don't see, or like, if you have got to fill forms in, you haven't got to keep rambling, like getting all your meds out and writing it all down and things like that. You ain't got to do all that. You've got it all in one place. So yeah, anyway, I hope you're doing fine. Remember, right, if you're having a bad day today, doesn't mean tomorrow's going to be the same. So you got through stuff. So yeah, we've got this, haven't we? Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you, and take care, and I'll speak to you soon.